have three main passions, which is wellness, which falls under health and fitness, mind, body, soul, just overall being healthy. Another one is family, and the third is travel. So as I said, they're all connected in a way, but say family, I guess it's self-explanatory. And for travel, I love, like you, just meeting people from different backgrounds who grew up differently and realize I can learn so much from their experience, their different experience. And then again, learning that we are all just the same people. We just grew up differently. Just because you were born there, I still have something to learn from you, and we're just basically the same. And then, of course, the wellness. I'm a yoga teacher, so of course I love to maintain overall wellness, mind, body, soul, and share it with others. So those are my three main passions in life. My biggest shift came about maybe 4 years ago, and when I had to leave a really toxic relationship, which was my marriage. I had been with this person for maybe 10, 11 years, but it was just not healthy. It was extremely toxic, and I believe the way you do one thing is the way you do other things. So if this one thing is toxic, it's spilling over to other things, your friendship, your family, your overall physical, mental health, your work. You're not performing properly. And it got to a point where I couldn't deal with it anymore because I was really, really depressed, and I wasn't able to function. I hadn't slept properly in like maybe 2-3 years, and things got to a head one day, and I decided I need to get out and just live differently. And the irony is that when I left that situation maybe 2 months after I taught my first yoga class. And as I was saying, I sort of found my voice and stood up for myself. I was not able to stand up in front of people and speak ever since I was young. And from the first yoga class I taught, I sort of found my voice, found the courage to speak, tell people what to do, help people, and found the courage to say, no, this is not for me, and just leave. And everything else started to fall into place after that. And as I had said, things really didn't get better immediately. Things had to get worse before they got better, because a few months after I left, the pandemic hit. Now I was alone and really had to deal with my pain that I had escaped. Like, I was just skirting through life, and I ran and I don't deal with things, but I had to really sit and think, and that was when things came to a head. Nothing helped. There was nobody to help me. No therapy wasn't working. I had to just sit and find the answers within me, because it's me who knows what really happened from when I was young to that point that allowed me to allow people to treat me poorly. So that is the point. That was the shift. To support me, but even then, it got to a point where I realized I was alone, and I needed. At the time, it was really not a good place to be, but when I realized I'm alone and I have to, this is the point to stand up for myself and just gather myself, and deal with it. And as you had said before, like, be my own parent, be my own provider, instead of giving the power away to others. Like, I was always this victim where other people were there to help me, but it was not, it got to a point where it was not enough. Whatever they were doing, they didn't get it. It was just up to me to pick myself up and just literally just do the work. And yeah, that's what happened. At the time, I wanted to be free. I didn't feel free. I was a people pleaser. I felt like I was living somebody else's life. I wasn't really doing even the work I wanted to do. For a long time, I would do things because this is what is expected of me. This is what I don't want to ruffle feathers. But standing up for myself meant it doesn't matter whether I pick coconuts off the tree. This is what I love to do, and I had to hold it and own it and show other people it's working. So yeah, that's what happened. It's important because I feel like people, if I don't show people who I am, they don't know who I am. I needed to really understand who I am and just show the world. And then the people who will accept and walk with me will walk with me instead of hiding. I feel like I hid, I never said anything, I blended in, and it got to a point I said I was built for something big, different, and I decided that's the life I will choose. Just living on a white beach, teaching yoga, that's it. This doesn't look like so ambitious to people, but I realized ambition is different for different people. This one is money and a big house. That's not for me anymore. It was at some point, but it changed. For me, my ambition is freedom and to live a life where I do things that bring me joy. Small things, big things, that's it. Because it doesn't align with what society expects of you. Very few people will say, my vision is to be free, because it scares you to. Because also these things you need to do to be free are hard. I have to leave my family to be free right now, you know? I have to be alone here, the only Kenyan on this island, to be free. But that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make to choose me and to be happy. That I can leave my comfort zone and come and own my space and stand up tall. There are days where I have to remind myself to put my chin up, even here on this island, because I will fall back. Even though it's a couple of hours a day and I'm feeling a bit down, I'm like, oh, is it really? I'm like, put your chin up and just walk. And for me, those things also make me proud of myself. Like, I'm able to catch myself. I'm not always walking in the sky. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I feel sorry for myself. I'm like, chin up, and that's it. For me, the free woman is the woman living life without thinking what other people's opinions. I feel like other people's opinions can really put you in chains and you don't realize. It's, as I said before, it's standing up for myself and saying, it's not a popular opinion, but this is what I want to do. As I say, my mom is not really supportive of me teaching yoga. She likes that. She sees I'm happy, but she's like, no, really? But I'm like, Mom, this is what I want to do. And for me, that's freedom. To stand up for people, even when you're scared, to just say, this is what I choose. And also to get out of your comfort zone. And as I say, just walk like you deserve a seat in that table. For me, that's really become a big thing. To come and say, I like what you have to say, I like your voice. It's bold, it's confident. That's been my biggest compliment in this season. It means as you say, I'm stepping into my authentic self, and now I'm beginning to believe that this is who I am, and I'm safe and I'm okay. One big thing I want to say is, if you want to find freedom, you need to take responsibility for the things you've done to contribute to where you are. If you're unhappy, do not blame anybody else. Just sit with yourself, journal, whatever it is, pray if you pray, sit, meditate, but I think to really free yourself, you need to, because you're the only body, I can't change your opinion, I can't change anybody else, I can only change me. So you need to really we don't own our part in this world. We're not honest with ourselves. So just ask yourself, what did I do to contribute to this situation? And that's the only way you can fix it. You can fix yourself. Whether you're overweight and you need to lose weight, you can't blame somebody else. Oh, they served my plate. Nah. Whether you're in a toxic relationship, why is it okay? Why are you allowing people to treat you this way? So for me, the biggest advice I'll give people is just to sit with yourself and change your world, as they say. And then everything else changes, you know? So yeah. One of my priorities is to look for a tribe that supports what I do, that gets it. As much as I have people, because my life has shifted so drastically, there are people who don't understand what's going on. And I choose not to live a life where I keep explaining my soul to people. I want people who get it, like you, who just understand. I don't need to tell you words to be like this now. We see the sunset and our day is made. I don't need to be like to explain and do this. So my biggest thing, find your tribe, find your support system, find people you want to, who will help you along the journey as well, because as human beings, at the end of the day, we need other people. So choose your tribe really, really carefully. So I made a vision board maybe 10 months ago, sitting in my mom's apartment, wondering where my life is going next. I had already tasted what I wanted. I wanted to be on a beach. That's where I thrive. I love the heat. I love everything. My face glows. My soul glows in the heat and in the sea. And I came back home and I wasn't getting the opportunities. I was even doubting at some points, is yoga my path? Is this really? Because there are people around me, of course, who are like, really, you just want to go sit on an island or a beach all through? That's not possible. But for some reason, somewhere deep, I knew it was possible because I had tasted it. I had been in a place where I was working and just living on the beach teaching yoga. So I decided the only thing I can do right now is dream. And so I went on the internet, picked an app and chose about 6 photos. So the first one was a group of people and a teacher in front of them on a beach, not in a studio behind, not in a gym behind there, right on the beach. And even then I was like, is there a place like this? But I just put it there and it had to be white sandy beach and I posted. And then the second thing was a white house on a beach. And literally right now the houses we stay in here are just like white and they're on the beach, And then the third thing was money, because I stopped. There was a time I felt guilty about getting money for teaching yoga, and I said and then I realized I was operating from a place of scarcity, because if you can't support yourself, how are you going to show up in I had to shift to that abundance mentality, like I'm gonna get paid for this, so because we live in a world where you need money to survive, I'm not asking for billions, but just enough. So I put money, and then the other thing I put like a group of women and stuff happy on a beach holding hands, and I asked for that community. I wanted that tribe of people that get me on this new phase in my life, on this new journey, and it's already happening. I met you, I've already met a couple of people. And then another thing, because now I'm single and I'm open to another relationship with somebody, of course, who is in alignment with this new life, was me and a guy in the gym, we're doing fitness together. It's a small thing, but I was like, those are things that we're in alignment. And that was just a poster. It's time to travel. And only one thing hasn't come so far, and it's the guy. So I'm like, I'm on a white beach, I'm in a white house, there's money coming in, I'm meeting my community. And I didn't realize, I never looked at and it's my screensaver, and I think it got to a point where, because it wasn't coming through, I stopped paying attention to it. It just became something on my phone until 2 days ago. I saw your vision board on your page and I was like, wait. And then I looked, I was like, I'm here, I've arrived. And it's like, I also needed you to remind me that. I was like, we will get along.
That's incredible. You are walking into your vision, and I love what you are saying. You are talking about a tribe, you are talking about alignment. What does it mean, alignment, for you with another person?
Alignment is having the same vision. Alignment is getting excited about the same things. Alignment is holding space for each other. Alignment is making each other happy. I could be a good person, you could be a good person, but we don't make each other happy, so what's the point? You're not my person. I always say, as a former people pleaser, now I'm like, I'm not for everybody. And I'm proud about that, because when I was surrounded by so many people, if everybody likes you, there's something wrong, to be honest. Like, you're just not being yourself, because I adjust to you, I adjust to you, I adjust to you. No, I am me and I'm not for everybody. If we're not aligned, it's okay. My superpower, right now, I could say it's not one word, it's maybe just having the courage to walk in my truth, despite all the noise, despite everything happened. As I said, I did the work during COVID. There's people who totally lost their minds during COVID. I refused to be a statistic in that way. I said, no, we're going to turn this into positive. I refused to carry everything that was there into this new life, and I had to sit and do the work. And I'm proud of myself for being really brave to do the work and to step in this and to walk to it's the road less traveled, to be honest, when you really do the work. And I'm really proud that I finally got to the point where I said this is not working and I need to change, and I changed it. That I'm proud of myself for being brave. I want to be so authentic and just live my life in such a way that I don't need to say anything, but people will feel and people will see and people will be challenged to step into their truth. I just want to be an example. I don't need to talk and tell you what to do. I want to walk the talk. I want to be so in my bubble, so happy that people want to ask, what is that bubble about? All I need to do is live in my truth. So for me, this is the next phase. This is the phase of my life, to just be me, and hopefully someone just sees and feels, because yeah.